these gospel reality shows, I sometimes wish I never watched them because every one I have watched, I end up not liking somebody in these shows.
Really?
Yes. Go back to the Mary show. They had a reality.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand. Now I don't like Erica.
Yeah, that's facts because
I don't like Erica. She got on my nerves. She was so unfair to Tina.
After that reality show that they were on, I stopped listening to Mary and don't listen to him anymore.
I was so mad when we had to sing anything Erica sang at church. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to sing her song. Okay. My mic in a good spot?
Yes.
Always got to do extra. You always got to do extra.
I'm just trying to make sure everything is in place.
There's a lot of lights. I feel like I'm on the stage of praise and worship.
Well, yeah,
we need a lot. Sweating.
We are black folks, so we need a lot of lights and stuff.
As soon as we on a stage, it'd be hot for them lights.
I guess 11 o'clock. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a good one.
Welcome back to the Heath and Bernie show.
What is going on with your neck like that?
That's me welcoming the people.
Okay.
It's the Heath and Bernie show.
I was going to ask you.
Come on, Bernie. You got to do it with me one time.
I can't do that because...
I'll just do you just do... Because you can come over top of me and... It's the Heath and Bernie show. There you go. That's your key. Q sharp. Major. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
I'm not ready. Okay.
1, 2, 3. It's the Heath and Bernie show. Yeah.
Sorry, y'all, for that. Yeah. And just sorry for it all.
I like the yes.
Please,
greetings,
my husband here.
People, thank you all. If you're coming, if this is the first time seeing us, I'm Heath.
I'm Bernie.
We have been married for 25 years. We be doing stuff together. We be going places together. We be doing stuff. We be doing stuff together. We go places together. And we like doing fun, adventurous things because a lot of people just focus on bills, businesses, babies, and the Bible, and they don't talk about and they don't prioritize having fun. So we are trying to prioritize having fun in our marriage.
What are the fun things you like, Heath? Are they dangerous?
Yes.
Are they dangerous?
They're not dangerous. They're just adventurous.
Do they make people want to speak in tongues? For safety. And plead the blood.
Wow. But some of the things I like to do, like house music, going camping, RVing, skiing,
whitewater
rafting. That I wasn't gonna say whitewater rafting because that would make you speak in tongues. Istakanta Shantanaya.
Well, if the man could have said the safety information in English, that probably would have started my tongues later as opposed to right away.
Right.
Because
what she's
he said them
about,
in French.
What she's talking about was when
we went to Quebec, Canada, Quebec.
It was a summer trip. We went to Quebec, Canada for a summer trip. And on the way, when we were there, we found out that they had a whitewater rafting excursion in the town that we were in. So we were like, I was like, let's go. And so, of
course,
when we went, they had to do a safety briefing. And when they did the safety briefing, the safety briefing was in French, no English.
None.
And so I was
whatsoever.
like, this is
I was already terrified. And then, he's telling us what to do and what not to do, not in English. So
we learned, no, we didn't learn the French. We just did what we thought we needed to do. And
there was nothing to hold on to in the boat.
Yeah.
You have to just sit on the edge and then stick your foot underneath
the little pontoon, the bench in front of you.
It was all a setup.
It was fun. We had a great time.
Except
Bernie almost thought she was going to drown.
Well, I mean, I could have. I'm not the best swimmer, but in, rocky, what do you call that kind of water? Rocky, rough rapids. Waters. Rapids. Yeah, rapids. Oh my gosh. And I think the instructor knew because when the rapids got rough, he grabbed the back of me and slammed me down in the middle of the boat. That was a smart man. Because he knew if I fall out, it's just not going to be good.
Yeah, no,
it's not going to be good.
He did the right thing. I mean, sometimes the rapids be real rough. They go from class 1 to class 5. Class 5 is the highest. And sometimes they be real rough and people be getting in dangerous situations. But that rapid looked like it was about to be real rough. And so therefore, he hooked you up by just throwing you inside.
Well, it made sense. That's just one of the many. What happened?
I seen something flicker.
I saw something flicker too. I hope everything is still on.
Yeah.
Well, that's just one of the many dangerous things.
But I wasn't going to talk about the dangerous things. I was going to talk about the non-dangerous things, like what I was talking about before.
Well, they're not all dangerous. I kind of just
bike
wanted
riding,
to point out.
Like we got our electric bikes. We got our electric bikes, and we do electric bike things on them. And we go riding. We take trips. I mean, we take trips. We bring our electric bikes with us. So and that allows you not to have to worry about going up hills.
Exactly. Or when I get tired, I get some assist.
Yeah. So,
especially on the hills.
Just those kind of adventurous things.
But I wasn't going to mention the time where I had to high five Jesus because you had me swinging from trees in the rainforest.
In St. Lucia.
Through the clouds.
Yes, we went zip lining in St. Lucia, which was a fabulous time. We had a great time.
It was interesting. It was fun.
You enjoyed it after a while.
After I did the first tree. Well, the little boy crying in front of me, I was hoping he didn't go because I was going to chicken out too, but he went, then I had to go.
Yeah.
But after you go, I mean, you have to keep going to all the other trees. You have to.
You can't punk out in front of a 10-year-old and let the 10-year-old. Oh, you can't punk out in front of a 9-year-old and let the 9-year-old go crying and then do it. And then you, a grown woman, talk about, I'm too scared. You can't do that.
That's what I was feeling, but I did it anyway.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Okay. So today we don't have a long episode. Last episode was kind of long. So we're trying to keep it short today. Today we're going to talk about a couple things. We're going to talk about a video that someone sent us that they wanted us to review. Mm-hmm. So if you would like us to, if you see some topics that you want us to review or you think that it'd be interesting to get our take on it.
Or some reaction videos you want us to react to.
Or that part. Go ahead and send it to us. You can send it to us in any one of the platforms and through a DM. Send us a link. It doesn't matter which platform, YouTube, Facebook, IG, or Instagram.
Yeah.
Go ahead and send it to us. And we'll talk about some other things we want you all to send us also later toward the end of the show. And then we're going to talk about the main topic of the day, which you see on the title. And then we'll talk about some scenarios that we want to talk about doing in the future. Okay.
Oh, we need our headphones.
Yeah. So this is a topic that someone sent us. One of our loyal listeners. Shout out to Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Who goes by Veronica, but we know her as Ronnie.
Yeah.
She sent us a couple of things she wanted us to she wanted to give reactions to. And so this is one of the videos that she sent that she wanted to get our reaction to. So here we go.
I came up this morning and they were like, so what do you need? And I was like, just give me the 2 glasses. Somebody's like, are you gonna drink that? You can't drink your own oil, it's not for you. It would be harmful for you to use your oil on yourself. Let me talk to all my pastor friends. This ain't for you. It ain't for you to build your brand. It ain't for you to build your business. It ain't for you to be cool. It ain't for you to have a lot of money. It ain't for you to be everybody talking about, look at what they did. I told you I was going to do it. You can't drink this. If you drink this, it's going to make you sick. And I've seen a lot of friends get sick off drinking their own oil.
Interesting. What do you think about that, Heath?
Well, that one was interesting because I looked at not just what other pastor friends, what he's talking about, pastor friends drinking their own oil, but I think about.
I was a little confused about drinking your own oil. I know
what you thought was blessing oil?
I'm just confused about drinking oil in general. I know it must be some kind of metaphor, but I just didn't understand. But
well, the title of it says your oil ain't for you. It talks about the Holy Spirit giving you the gifts that and resources that He's given you, and He wants you to give those out to other people. That's not for you. I was when
is that the same oil that the men had to go get, like in the Bible, and then some of them got left out because they're supposed to go get?
No, this is a metaphor for the oil of the anointing, Bernie. For someone as so churchified and sanctified as you didn't know that was an oil that was representative of the anointing?
I understood oil and blessing people with whatever, but he throwing me off when he said you can't drink it. That's throwing me off. But go ahead. Let's talk about what he said.
You're supposed to be in. You're supposed to be in church anyway.
You're starting to sound like my brother, who's very. I'm not going to say that about him, but you're starting to work my nerves like he does, based on what you're saying. I mean, come on now.
Okay. Anyway, I think so. What he was talking about was what I got from it was that you have like the gifts that God has given you and the things that you are supposed to be doing for other people. And then those things that you're supposed to be doing, if you turn around and use them for your own aggrandizement and praise, then that's when he talks about you can't drink your own oil.
Oh, that makes sense. I was taking it literally. That's what was throwing me off.
Okay, yeah, no, it's a metaphor.
That's what I thought. That's what I was saying.
And so I took some notes because I thought I would forget, which I have. I feel like the things you are given are for other people, but there's a struggle to give them continually. Or give them when you feel like you're not getting reciprocation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So when I feel like when I'm giving, and
which you do a lot,
I do, and I'm not getting the reciprocation that I feel that I should be getting, I feel like I'm going to go take my oil home and I'm going to baptize myself.
Do you feel that way also when you're giving your oil and you're not drinking it, but if people, I'm trying to think, I'm trying to say this in a way if people are watching so they won't know.
Would you just speak, woman?
Okay. If people who are supposed to assist but don't, do you feel like does that make you want to take your oil home and not want to share it?
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's not the same.
It is similar to that.
Okay.
I think what you're saying is when you're giving and then people who are supposed to be contributing as well are not contributing
at all
or not to the same level that you are.
Right. Well, they're actually wasting the oil because they don't come prepared. They don't. I mean, it's just a waste. I mean,
yeah. So I feel like, so for me, I feel like, and maybe this is just the people that I am, the people that I work with. For me, I feel like one of the things that I went to therapy one time, and one of the things that the ladies I expressed to the woman, the therapist, was I feel like there is a concern that I have about being wrong. Remember, we came up because we used to work together in HR, and in HR, if you get somebody's pay wrong, it's going to come back to be like, who did it and why did you do it wrong? Because you were trained. So getting things wrong was bad in our coming up. And if you had an error or something, it was like, you need to fix it and you can't go home until you do. So I kind of came up in that, don't get it wrong. And then in my church era, it was like, you got to be right. You got to be right because you are representing God and you don't want to speak for God to somebody else and his stuff be wrong. Be like, do you know God? So it was always, to me, wrong was bad. So I tried to make sure I got everything right. Why are you looking at me like that?
Because I wasn't really thinking about work, getting things wrong. Because I mean, the type of manager, were you talking about we on the same team or
No, when I first started.
Oh, okay. See, it wasn't like that in HR. You talking about before you came to HR?
No, I'm talking about when I got to HR and I worked in processing. When I had to code people's actions in the system.
You're not a detailed person, so you was probably mucking that up real bad. I'm very detailed.
Yeah, that wasn't good. It wasn't a good situation for me.
Anyway, I was thinking of wrong and right from just growing up, everything, not doing, the whole Jesus thing.
Right.
Trying to be Jesus.
Right. But I was thinking about in terms of executing what it is you're supposed to be doing. So I kind of grew up thinking that everything has to be right. And so when you're talking about working with people on teams and stuff, I know and the therapist was saying that in order for you in your mind to make sure that you're not wrong, you over prepare. And that is your defense mechanism for being wrong and being embarrassed or something being said about you that is incorrect or that you did something incorrect. So my defense mechanism about being wrong is to over prepare. And I've built that into my process of how I think.
We did do that at work where you make sure you go the extra mile. Because But
I mean, I think I took it to another level in just me personally.
Yeah, you do that.
Yeah. And so
Sometimes, though, when you're operating that, it's not always receptive to some people.
Well, it used to not be, but more so lately it has been.
Yeah. Not that it was something wrong.
Right.
It was just not the timing and the season. It's their loss. You just lost out on some stuff you needed, but you weren't in. When Battle preached that sermon about being in that right position for your yes, they weren't. Yeah. Those people weren't in the right position to receive what they needed. And so now other people got it. So,
but I think that,
but that's a gift that you have, because if I show up and I've done all this preparing, my part, and then somebody else has a part, and then I'm very frustrated.
Another reason why
when I'm doing mine, and then mine sound crazy, because you didn't do your part. You just didn't even do it. And then, I'm really talking about one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about a song.
Yes, when you're trying to sing. Yes.
Oh my gosh. It was like a medley, and I had to do this part, and I did mine, and the person didn't do that. And they said nothing, so make mine sound crazy. It's like.
Yeah, you were supposed to harmonize with somebody, but the harmony was supposed to be harmonized, but there was another person. There was nobody for you to harmonize with, so it was like you were just singing this note out there.
It wasn't harmony. It wasn't harmonized.
It was What was it? Unison?
It was like, it was several pieces in the medley, but it was like on top of each other. You had to, but if you didn't do yours, it's just a space, because I got to come back in. But there's no space. So I came in. It was like nothing.
He was supposed to lead, and you were supposed to not lead. You were supposed to sing, and then he was supposed to sing, and it was like a call and response kind of thing, but there was no call.
Oh, it's just responses. And people are probably, what the? He didn't prepare. Or I don't know what he did, but whatever.
I forgot what I was saying. I was talking about how when I am in a place of doing, I was going to say, when we came up in our former place of worship, part of being prepared and being over prepared is because you never know what the leadership may say. Hey, Brother Heath, Deacon Wick, can you come up and do this, that, and the third? Can you come up and lead us? Can you come up and pray? You don't know what you're about to be asked to do. And so you have to be prepared to be able to do anything that you're called upon, especially for y'all, those of y'all who went to a small church, and you maybe been in leadership, or you may have been really good, or the one who people relied on. Those are the places where you learn how to do everything.
Oh
everything.
My God.
Like I said in the last episode, I did everything in the church but preach a sermon and lead women's ministry.
But see, you were good at that because you naturally have an off the cuff ministry where you could actually have a gift where, oh, okay, like when those people asked you were just supposed to come and be a part of the radio show. And then they said, no, we want you to like host it.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's no way I could have did that. I'd have been like, I don't know what to tell you. You're gonna have to. But some people have that gift to just be off the cuff and just on spontaneity.
Yeah.
And use whatever comes out of them. I don't have that. So I'm not. It's like I'm gonna prepare, especially like if I have to lead a song, whatever. I mean, whenever I have to lead, you got to lead too. Yeah. Everybody got to lead in the house.
The house has to lead the song.
The whole house got to learn this song, and we're going to go over it back and forth. That's just what I do. It's just I mean, so like when my nerves come up, it doesn't matter what I rehearse, what I practice is going to come out.
Right.
But at that former place of worship where they got me one time, I had to sing at a darn funeral. I prepared, sang my song. Because that's what they had asked me to do, the people to come. You know what? Not the people who asked me to sing, but the SIC said.
Yes, SIC. What's SIC for?
Shepherd in Charge.
Okay, Shepherd in Charge. Okay, thank you very much.
I'm going to need you to do another one. What? I don't have another song. And this is a funeral. What am I? What? I had nothing. So I sang something probably that just wasn't appropriate. I was like, I don't know. It wasn't appropriate, but
I want to get back to our topic because we are way off topic with that. What was I talking about?
You were talking about using your oil. Well, he was talking about drinking your own oil, and then you were talking about.
Oh, so I realized because I have one of the things that I do, one of the gifts that I have is to be able to be prepared to do whatever I'm supposed to do, plus what other people are supposed to do. When people don't show up as prepared as I am, I'm not shook initially. But if there's a pattern of a lack of preparedness, then it's like, oh, you just don't prepare.
And
you just don't do this.
And they they know, oh, he gonna do. See, that's what irritates me.
Yeah.
Does that bother? I mean,
it does bother me, but I understand because it's really a spiritual thing. I understand where God puts me in the role that I have in the place that I'm supposed to be and what I'm supposed to do there. And so when I'm doing it, the fact that somebody else is not doing it doesn't make me feel like, oh, you should be doing it, because I feel like that's what I'm here for. But if I'm picking up somebody's slack, and it's over and over again, then I feel like, okay, I need to have a conversation with you. And sometimes I'd be like, okay, I realize this is not a place where I need to be because you don't respect the gifts. But that's after I've had a conversation with them. So with respect to this oil thing, I feel like, it's hard to keep giving. Like I said, if I don't feel people are giving that reciprocation back level of effort, I would just love to work in an environment where I'm doing exactly what my gifts call me to do, exactly what God has given me to do. And I'm working with people who are in that same bag, who are like in that same kind of flow. And we're all just moving very, very efficiently. I've only had that kind of environment maybe 2 or 3 times in my life that I recall. And those were really, really good, fun working environments for me. Yeah. So that and
notes.
I wasn't getting the results I thought I deserved. Oh yeah. So I wanted to quit or blame other people. This goes back to about the oil and me wanting to continually to give the oil that I'm supposed to be giving out to other people when I'm not getting the results that I want or expect to get from the oil that I'm giving. If I'm pouring out my oil to everybody and they're just like letting it fall on the ground, it's like, come on, dude. Like, I should be getting better results from this than I'm receiving. And this actually,
I think we felt that way when we were doing the relationship thing at the beginning, kind of, because
in the beginning, shoot.
Well, not in the beginning.
I mean, still
all the way through. Yeah. But what reason why I brought that up is because we learned soon later on after that, it's not up to us. We're still supposed to use our gifts, give what God has told us to share with the folks. Yeah. And it's up to them to use it. And once we got that clarity on, it's up to them to because we couldn't be married for him. So it's up to you all.
But that's still hard for me, though. It's still hard for me to continue to give when I don't see the results that I should be getting from the level of effort that I'm putting in.
Well, after a while, we can't keep repeating ourselves.
Right.
So you can't. It doesn't make sense to like. I have nothing new to say.
Right.
So,
right. And that's when what I realize I need to do now is that I no longer am the Raven is no longer bringing food.
That part.
The Raven's no longer bringing food. If what I'm doing here is not being helpful, then I'm not being helpful, and I don't have any problem recognizing that that time has elapsed, and for me to like remove myself from it. And I don't blame them for not giving me the results that I think I want to see in them. It may not be their time to manifest what it is that has been planted in them. I'm just planting.
Listen,
and I recognize I'm just planting.
Planting. Jesus didn't beg nobody to do nothing.
Huh?
He came, said what he said, did what he did, and just wiped the dust off his feet and kept it moving. What? I'm all for doing that. You can't keep repeating yourself saying the same thing.
And so I guess sometimes that because I have the hope that things will change. One thing that I do is I do my due diligence. I'm like, okay, I got to give all that I can give to this so that I can be responsible for what it is God has given me to impart in this time or this people or this place or this ministry or this business. I was thinking about like when we were doing the boot camp back when we were like not when we first started, but sort of like in the middle. Mm-hmm. And I was feeling like all the work that we were putting into the boot camp, doing hecka marketing. I mean, we're doing crazy Facebook marketing. I mean, just the time it took me to learn how to do all that.
I remember.
And all the effort that was going into that and the money that I spent. I was like, I should be getting more clients in this. I should be getting more
money
booking.
That we spent.
Yes, the money that we spent. Yes.
Just I'll make it plain.
Right. But I mean, I understand. I was the one on the computer, like, pay this amount. So yes, the money that we spent.
Money was there for you to pay this amount. Okay.
Yes, the money that we spent. So all the things that we were doing, I was like, we should be getting better results than this. We should be having more people turn up. We should be having more. Now, we had more people turn up than we had previously before we were doing the marketing. So I was seeing the ultimate results, but I was like, and that's another thing. I was low key comparing myself to other people. I was
just going to say too.
I was low key, and I was getting, because they were the ones telling me, if you do this, then you'll have this level of success. If you do this, then the people will come. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take a seminar. I'm going to take a class. I'm going to hire a coach. I can do all those things. And I was like, they dribbling in. I mean, why? Why are they dribbling in?
But see, our thing was ministry, and I don't think that group or whatever was a ministry thing. That was a money making.
Yeah.
They were trying to make money, and we're not trying to make money from this. I mean,
that's a part of the equation.
It's a part of it, but that's not our main. That wasn't our main push. That's not why we were doing.
That's not what God gave us. That's not why God gave us the 14 acres.
Right. No.
To build our boot camp.
Right.
And so what I had to come to a realization of, and I'm still talking about the oil thing, what I had to come to a realization of is that y'all's gifts is not my gifts, and my gifts is not y'all's gifts. I'm not going to have the following that you all have on social media because you are trying to expand, because your purpose is to expand in a large area and train other people how to do what it is that they need to do.
Right.
But what I realized, and I realized this, that once I came to that understanding and I stopped trying to live out the business model that other people's business model represented success to me, then I was like, oh, I see what God is doing. He made me the master of, or not me, but he made us the master of having small groups and keeping in small communities and having very, very strong impacts in those communities.
Yeah.
And once I realized that was what I was supposed to be doing, I stopped trying to go after the big crowds. I actually stopped doing speaking engagements. I don't like speaking engagements. I don't like it.
I know, me either.
I don't like it.
I definitely don't like it.
When I did the Congressional Black Caucus thing, I was so nervous. I mean, I over-prepared.
Yes.
And I did a good job.
You did.
That was a good message.
You did do good.
but
you were on a panel, right?
I was on a panel. But I had prepared what I was going to say on that panel because I knew that because the person who was coordinating it told me that the moderator was going to come after me. He was going to be confrontational to me because I was talking about leadership and relationships, and there would be women there, and he wanted to stir some stuff up, which I had.
You're used to that.
I mean, I addressed it in my book, so I knew what to say, but I had mapped out this beautiful epilogue to say, and it went over well. Anyway, but speaking on that panel, that was a good opportunity for me. But I was like, this is not where I want to be. And when Battle talked about how when he gets up and speaks in front of like churches and pastors and all these other stuff, and he does it for like day after day, week after week, he gets nervous, but he feels so alive there. He feels like he's doing it. He feels like he's in God's like purpose and stuff. I feel like that. And he said, but if you were to put me in a small group and we were supposed to be in a like intimate setting and we talk like one-on-one, I would be nervous as a mug. I was like, I'm the exact opposite. Oh my goodness. Put me in a small group. I'll hold court.
Yeah.
I'll spit mad game in a small group, but in a large setting, I'm nervous. I'm like, so maybe I should stop trying to be out in these large settings and just stick to my small groups. And once I realized that that's what I needed to do, it freed me up to be very, very comfortable having the small group effect that we eventually started having, and not trying to go after these large crowds.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't like no large crowds.
Right. So that's bottom line. The whole oil thing. That oil is for other people. Is something that I feel like I really understand. And I also understand what I'm supposed to be doing with my oil for other people. And that allows me so when I'm in places and somebody's not doing what it is that they need to do, I'm like, okay, that's why I'm here. But I can't allow that to be a pattern that they persist in doing. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to dip or, address the matter.
Yeah. I feel like when that happens, it's, first of all, you're never looking for it. And then it just it happens organically all the time.
Yeah.
When you're in settings. And it's almost like the Lord sets it up for you to help somebody who's there with some wisdom that's going to come out of your mouth, which usually does. So. Yeah.
And last thing I wrote is realizing that my approach was God's plan. God's plan is not the outcome, but the execution of the plan. And so that's my thing. Like I said, I'm here to plant seeds and to water if need be. But, God determines if this plant will grow. If God will determine, well, not even God, but the person will determine if the seed that has been planted is in shallow ground or fertile soil. And it's not really for me to try to make a plant derive out of very rocky, unfertile ground, shallow ground. And if it's not meant to, but I'm still supposed to plant that.
Right. And when the leaves come, figs are supposed to come, and if they don't come, the Lord cursed it, and then he had the fig tree had to die because he was hungry. He wanted some of that food, and didn't have no darn figs. So once you plant it, you move on, and it's up to them to let that grow.
And that's real freeing to me. And I guess I will encourage other people who feel like they are trying to chase results. It's not about the results; it's about the execution.
And he kind of mentioned that in the reaction, like, your business, your this, your that, that.
Yeah, it's about, to me, it's about the execution. And so I don't find, and that's something that's also freed me. I don't find value in the outcome. I find value in the effort that I put into to plant or to sow or to give or to serve or to lead. And I put in value in the impact that I have on the people that I'm working with. If I feel like I have impact on them and they're receiving it as impact, then there's my value. That's my secret sauce.
Yeah.
That's what God has given me to give. And it's up to God to make that thing grow. And once I divorced myself from trying to wait for people's outcomes to validate my ministry and validate my gifts, I'm like, oh no. And what has also done is allowed me to dip very, very easily without any shame or reservation or purpose of evasion.
Okay, government.
Yeah, I can dip on situations very, very comfortably and still be cool with the people that,
Yeah. It ain't no offense or nothing.
No.
It's, it's the dust off your sandals.
Yeah.
White Jesus.
Y'all let us know what y'all think about this topic. I know we kind of went over the different places, but let us know what y'all think. And you're supposed to remind me of something.
We already told them. Do I still need these?
I don't know. Yeah, later on.
You already mentioned to have them send any videos, reaction videos that they might want us to react to.
Okay.
We kind of already mentioned it.
Yeah, so that was the reaction video. Thank you, Ronnie, for sending that out to us. So the topic that we really wanted to talk about today. No, we don't need those right now. We won't need them again, though.
Okay.
I like the way my voice sounds in here, so I'm going to keep them on.
Okay, I'll put mine on later. I'm getting a little warm.
I understand.
All the lights.
I understand. So the topic that we want to talk about is gospel reality media. This derived from the gospel reality TV show Grown in Gospel.
Oh my goodness, Jesus.
So Bernie and I started watching this show, and let me set it up, and I'll let Bernie take it.
Wait, you'll be editing this. Which camera am I supposed to look in, this or this one?
Well,
whenever I'm talking.
Sometimes I put it on that when you're talking, but
when I'm talking, look here, and if not, just look there.
Just look in that camera most of the time.
The middle?
Yeah, the middle one.
Okay.
The Grown in Gospel TV show is a TV show about the legendary gospel artists' children who are in their 30s and 40s. They're grown now. They have children of their own.
It's a play off growing up hip hop.
Okay, yeah.
But this the gospel one, because it's there like Run DMC kids and all these other people, kids are on a growing up hip hop.
Right. So this show is about the adult children of gospel artists. The Clark sisters, Clark sisters' daughter, Dorinda Clark's daughter is in there.
Fred Hammond's daughter
is in there.
Somebody Jay Brooks.
Jay Brooks. Jay Brooks is a producer. His father's a pastor or something. He's a bishop. I don't know.
And Tasha Page Lockhart. She won.
Her mother is I think Lisa Page, who was a part of Chosen.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I forget which
or Witness. Group. Part of Witness, I think.
It wasn't Witness.
It was Chosen or Witness.
I don't know, but Tasha Page Lockhart won. I think she won Sunday's Best.
Yeah, she won Sunday's Best. The girl could sing.
Oh my gosh!
But it shows there, and then it shows some other boy. I don't even know who is. I don't know who he is. Famous.
I don't know who his parent is.
He's so extra.
Irritating.
He is so extra.
So irritating. What's his name? Elijah.
He is so extra.
Oh my god.
So it talks about their lives and them going through, being gospel artists and parent and children of gospel artists, but then they're living their adult lives.
Did you read the topic?
Huh?
You said the
ugly truth about gospel. I don't know if I'm gonna say that.
Okay,
I already started. The ugly truth about gospel reality media is their honor and honesty or fame and faking it.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
You just messed up my whole intro.
I'm sorry. You were talking about Elijah. I'm sorry. I thought you were going to read that at the beginning.
I was going to set up the whole thing.
Oh, I'm
and
sorry.
then I was going to say it.
Why didn't you just say I'm going to set it up?
You messed me up.
Sorry. Why didn't you just say that? No, I'm going to do it later. That's all you had to say.
Because I was thinking about what I was talking about before you interrupted me twice.
Do you remember what you were talking about?
I do remember that.
Okay, go ahead.
So no, I'm not cutting. That's too much editing.
Oh, sorry. That's what the clap is for. Cut.
No. So the reality show is about their lives and what it's disclosing. That's the word I'm looking for. What it's disclosing is the messiness that they have in their lives, and I mean everybody's got some mess in their lives, and we're not getting caught up on the fact that there's messiness. What is happening is causing you to look at the person differently than you looked at them prior to them being on a reality show.
Goodness.
And so what Bernie and I want to talk about is, and let us know what you think, is do you think that there is honor in being honest and keeping it authentic on reality TV or reality media? Because I'm also going to introduce other reality media platforms like podcasts, which is taking over because people maybe looked at differently on podcasts and stuff. based upon their authenticity, or rather they're faking it. And then, or do you feel like you should fake it, or you should only present the parts that you want to present of yourselves, so that you maintain the public persona that you want to project to the world, which is not a I don't see any problem with that, because if you have a image that you want to project and you don't want people up in your business, then, look, think of Beyonce. Don't nobody know about Beyonce's personal life.
I don't know. And you know what? She better keep it that way, because she ain't know nothing. Don't nobody know her real self but her friends. She got a whole beehive that rides for her till you die.
Because
they don't know nothing about her.
And they don't know nothing about her except for her name Beyonce, and she got 3 children, and she married and got a mama named Tina. That's all she know. That's all people know. And so there seems to be fame in faking it. Because, well, I mean, she's not even faking it. She don't even have but then people out here talking about reality shows and stuff, and thinking it's going to be a way for them to get a little bit of fame and stuff. But it's causing us, at least it's causing you and I, to see them a little differently.
Well, let me just say this. Lord have mercy. These gospel reality shows, I sometimes wish I never watched them, because every one I have watched, I end up not liking somebody in these shows.
Really?
Yes. Go back to the Mary show. They had a reality.
Yeah.
I couldn't stand. Now I don't like Erica.
Yeah, that's facts, because
I don't like Erica. She got on my nerves. She was so unfair to Tina.
After that reality show that they were on, I stopped listening to Mary and don't listen to him anymore.
I was so mad when we had to sing anything Erica sang at church. I was like, oh my God, I don't want to sing her song.
It did not make her look good.
She was so unfair to me, to Tina. She was selfish.
It was like, ew, I don't like you.
Oh my God, I did not like her. That show, I wished I wouldn't have watched, because I didn't know nothing about her until then. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't like Erica Campbell. And then,
but we like Tina though.
Yeah,
even though Tina was kind of like raw and a little bit of urban centric. That's my code name for ghetto.
I feel like Erica was so unfair to Tina.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But anyway, I didn't like Erica when I watched that show. Then I didn't know nothing about her, but then I like her.
I still don't. I purposely don't listen to the radio station that she plays on in the morning, because I don't want to support it.
Because her songs, you want to turn it.
I don't listen to any of her songs anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I do now.
That's real. I still don't listen to
it. For a long time, I didn't. I would turn the station.
Yeah.
But and then that other show with the ministers, with Dietrich Haddon and Noel Jones. I love Noel Jones. Yeah. Oh my gosh. He was horrible on that show. And the way he made that lady, her whole 30s, his girlfriend, all her 30s, well, now she can't have no babies, nothing. Now you want to marry her? Yeah. Now you want to marry her at 50 something? Oh my gosh. He was so irritating on that show. And I always loved his preaching. I love everything. I could not stand Noel Jones after I saw that show. I was like, oh my gosh. And it was something else. Oh my gosh, this groaning gospel. I love Tasha Page Locker. I love her songs. Why not me? But now I understand why she sing what she be singing about. She's so trifling. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God.
She messy. She messy and trifling
all
from
her life.
High school. She talked about
I was like,
the stuff
I did not need to know that.
School.
I'm like, I see her completely different.
her songs are talking about all the messes she been through.
I didn't know that, but I always like her songs. But now I see why she sing what she be singing about, because she just is messy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl. Why did I didn't know that that's what she was like, and it made me not see her in a different light. And even like Leandra now.
Oh, Leandra Johnson.
But Leandra showed up with flip flops and
socks.
Right. Tube socks. So
yes.
She came. We already knew she wasn't faking from Jump Street. She had some issues, whatever. But she was on that Peacock. No, it was on Facebook back in the day. When you used to go live on Facebook, and it was something, and
Periscope
drunk on that one time. It's like all these people who could really sing got all these darn issues, and I was like, oh my gosh. Now I had to look at it. I mean, they both get blown.
See, Leandria, she didn't come on here. She came on to a reality competition show.
A mess
with trash bags of clothes.
With flip flops and tube socks.
And I just got off the bus.
She was evicted and hadn't needed a place to stay.
And somebody told her about that, so she just got out. She caught the bus up to Atlanta,
her trash.
and she got out. She walked up there with a trash bag.
But that's my
and
point.
Changed her whole life.
We already knew.
Yeah,
it wasn't like. But these other people, I ain't know nothing about them. But now I know. It's like,
and also what's messed up though about this, the residual effect or Collateral Damage is Fred Hammond's daughter. When she got on there and she's talking about stuff about her family, and she's not going into the details, but she's like, you know, I wish I had a relationship with my dad.
Yeah,
I wish
like
my
he
dad
don't support her.
he don't did that. When my parent,
it's two
Fred,
sides to every
when my
story,
dad and my dad and my mom got divorced, it's like my dad kind of left and then, you know, left my mom. She didn't have this. She was struggling, and we were like, did Fred do that to his wife?
Right. We was like
how that's messed up. Fred, what you doing? So I was like, no, wait a minute. So then I was like, no, I don't think Fred out there like that.
Story.
But I did, we did. I boycotted Fred. For about 2 or 3 years.
Back in the day, not because
I found out he got divorced. Now, I was mad about that because his songs had such an anointing on them. His songs be so strong and so like powerful. I mean, those things got me through some rough times back at our former place of work. I mean, those songs.
Yeah, those were
we said last week.
Bread of Life. Oh my God. He
had like
Symphony.
4 albums back to back that were non-skippables.
And we couldn't understand how he could write those and then get a divorce. What?
Where is the Lord?
What?
Where is the Lord that you're singing about in your family, sir? Where is he?
It was
like,
so
why?
weird. It was like, what?
I was like, I would have rather you not done one of those albums, stayed home and taken care of your family and worked on that. And then give us an album later about what you did to take care of your family. That'd have been a better testimony. So because of that, I was like, I will not buy another Fred Hammond album. I will not do that. But then I kind of, over time, my judgment waned. I'm like, okay, I will allow him to live again. And
he
support
kind
him.
of, somebody.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
Remember on Kevin on Stage asked him what a thing you regret, and he said his divorce or something, or his not being there or something.
I saw it. Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what gave me a little bit more grace, I always had grace for him. I just was not going to support his decision to prioritize making music over his family. But what made me then support him again was he said that after that period of time, he was really, really like in a bad place. And he said he just stopped making music altogether. And he went to Bishop Jake's church and just sat and listen for a long time.
Yeah.
I was like, there we go. Good. That's what you should have done when you was married. But you know, it's good that you did it anyway. So I'm glad that you did it.
But you also sent me something where he reacted to what's going on to this groaning gospel with his daughter, and it's two sides to every story.
Right.
Because she's a little fickle too. Oh my gosh. I mean, no telling.
If I was her dad, I'd be like, girl, just get.
That's why he
in the thing that Fred said, he was like, you know, when somebody only sees you as a provider and only sees you as this one way, and they put you in on this shelf right here, and they put you in this box, then when they go out there and do everything that they need to do, and they're looking for you to show up for them, what you need to say to them is, I'm right where you left me on the shelf. So when you want to come back to me, I'm right here. And I can see some remnant of her, how she moves, of like how she, of why,
and
why he would need to have like, I'm sitting right here until you figure all this rambling that you're doing out.
All this fickle in and out. What you trying to do this and that.
Do this.
I mean, the fact that she was married, they got divorced for 2 years, and then they got remarried. When she said that, I was like, you're all over the place. What the heck, girl?
Go somewhere and sit down.
But I mean, I feel like she wants him to love her in the way that she wants. You know what I mean? Not in the way that, but it's like if he doesn't love her, or
if he doesn't do the things that she feels like he should be doing, which represent love to her, then you don't love her, or I don't have time for you, or I'm not. Yeah. And so we're kind of imagining what things could have happened. We don't know for certain.
We don't know, but what we have seen and known
discernment,
is the fickleness of her.
Yeah,
could drive anybody. Let me sit back until you figure your freaking grown life out. You need to figure your grown life out.
I feel like I want to do that with her right now.
Me too.
Let me just. I don't want to feel like go figure yourself out. Like in this last episode. She was pissing me. Oh my gosh. She was pissing me off because she wanted to come back and start a singing career. So I could start to rekindle a singing career because her father's not helping her, which I understand why now. But she wants to restart a singing career. And so she went to one of the producers that's a part of the show And he's like, let's meet up and let's talk about it. And she's like, well,
they all grew up together, mind you.
They all grew up together. And so they are, so she said to him in like the first episode, like,
I'm here.
By me being here, this lets you know how serious I am. He's like, no, I hear that all the time.
All the time.
That ain't, you being here don't mean that you're serious. That just means that you came here.
He's the only normal one on the show.
For real.
The only normal one, Brooks.
Jay Brooks.
Yeah.
And so later on, last episode, she's talking about, she walks into the studio all forlorn, sad, like a little puppy.
And she was supposed to be there 2 hours ago. See, I'm done.
You 2 hours late.
Dealing with you.
2 hours late to your own recording studio where the guy's helping you produce the album that you said that you want to do.
Showcase. She got to do a showcase.
You're gonna do a showcase of 2 or 3 songs, and he's helping you do it, and you're 2 hours late. And when you walk in, you all moping, all sad. And then you talk about, I just feel like, it's so hard. I can't do it. Like, I have to go to work.
She said
I have to go to work, and I have to.
She said she couldn't do it because she got to go to work and pay bills. What?
I got to pay bills, and I got to,
everybody got to go to work and pay bills.
Being in the space to be able to create. I'm like.
See, that's why if that's what Fred was dealing with, that's why he was like,
yeah.
Everybody goes to work and pay bills, girl. Jeez.
What pissed me off was you're talking about what you can't do while you're doing it. You showed up to a studio session to sing songs that have been prepared for you, and you showed up and you're in the studio and the producer's there. All you have to do is sing the songs that you prepared for,
talking about,
and you're like, I
want to go back get in the bed.
Yeah, I just feel like I want to go back get in the bed.
Like she's depressed or something.
Now, yeah, if she's depressed, then that's a whole different situation.
She didn't sound depressed. She just seemed like
she don't have no confidence in herself.
She's so downcast all the time. It's like when she's like doing
she has no confidence in herself.
She like turns on herself.
Yeah,
it's like, stop it.
When people don't have confidence in themselves, they don't believe that they're going to achieve the outcome that they plan. They don't believe. They don't have that belief. And if you're doing activities and actions and you don't believe that you're going to succeed, then you self-sabotage and you speak so negatively about it, even though you're doing it. It's like taking a test and you're talking about, I'm going to fail this test while you're answering the questions.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm going to fail this test. I know I'm not going to do good on this test. You just speaking that thing into life.
Yeah.
So, but these reality TV, so it's causing us to, I don't know.
And I don't know who the heck
Fred
Elijah
Hammond's daughter is. I don't know who I never knew who she was beforehand. Yeah. Then, but I if she comes to a concert, I don't want to go see it.
Well, I mean,
I don't.
Because
she might not come out because you feel like you're crying in the background in the back in the closet. That's crazy to me.
But then the other one is this Elijah dude who don't know how to shut up. I don't know who.
I can't even.
He is so
faking.
Like
he's
that's his house.
On
oh my God,
1 million.
He says so many. He's so out of order. Everything out of his mouth is wrong, and he just think the world is like he just.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's the worst. I don't even know who
I don't know who his daddy is. I don't know who his mama is.
He's somebody's famous child, I think. But they all grew up together, went to high school together,
went to church together. So all
of it. But he's horrible. He say anything out of his mouth.
But the title of this is there honor in honesty or fame and faking it. I also think about and I purposely said reality media and not reality TV because another area of reality media is podcasts. You also have radio shows, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about podcasts because there's so many couples now that have podcasts, and you start to see their relationship in even that they have control over their content, but you're starting to see more about people than you knew before.
Yeah.
And does that cause you to feel like some type of way about that couple or that person and make you not want to really vibe with them no more, kick it with them or watch them anymore or support them anymore if you see some things that you don't like? Or is it like, oh, I like that you being real. I like you keeping it real.
I don't really see stuff I don't like in podcasts. Like that turn me off. Like I don't want to watch like other people's podcasts. It's usually interesting or something they're saying. And even their personalities, I haven't seen one on maybe one. The person is a little sloppy sometimes. He's starting to turn me off.
Yeah.
But I don't, because there's other people. If he was there by himself,
right, I
probably would not watch it. But because there's other people with him all the time,
yeah,
then it doesn't bother me. But I haven't really seen a lot of podcasts where the people's personality come out and they're irritating. But I don't really watch a lot of podcasts. But the ones I've seen, haven't seen anything that
I watch them more now because of the production of this, and I was just watching a lot of them to prepare. And plus, I find them entertaining. I was watching Kevin on Stage and Angels. Here's the thing. I watch that more religiously than I do any TV show.
You stay on
every Wednesday. They come out every Wednesday, and I watch it on Wednesday during my lunch break, especially during the pandemic and stuff. So it's like, oh yeah, this is very entertaining. And so I think for me, what I value is if you have a public image. No, if you have a public image and you talk very honestly about your good parts and your bad parts, like the good and the bad sides of you. And if you're self-aware and you know that about yourself, then I respect the self-awareness. And so when you show those bad parts, I was like, okay, there it is. You talked about it.
Yeah.
But when you show those good parts, it's like, okay, yeah, there it is. So I respect the honesty of the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And if you move in a certain type of way, and I think of the podcast that I see the most, specifically with Kevin on Stage and Angel, here's the thing: the way that Angel communicates with her audience and communicates on the podcast is more authentic to me than is authentic enough for me to be like, she could do or say anything, and I'll still ride with her because she doesn't present herself to be any one way or the other. She presents herself to be exactly who she is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
But I think everybody else on there does too. You don't think so?
I don't know. I don't know. I think the more I see of, let's say like Kevin, the more I see of Kevin, it's like, I don't like the way he walks. I saw they were doing an episode of some show, and was
he being himself though?
He was being himself, and he talks about how he sometimes likes to stand with his hand on his hip, and he stands like a grandmother.
I don't want to see that, Kevin.
And he's like, I do it, and it's comfortable.
He always sometimes lift his shirt and stuff and have his belly out?
Don't start to have
and then he take his shoes off when they
have me defend him for taking his shirt off. I can't do that.
Okay.
But some of the things that he just said, some of the things, his mannerisms, I just like. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Yeah.
But he presents himself like, I do these things. I take off my shirt. My belly's big. I'm 270.
It's to his detriment.
And so, but I don't like it, but I respect that you out here fronting, like, not even fronting, you're out here acting like this is all good. And so I'm like, hey, you doing you. So I think there is some fame there's some honor in honesty or authenticity. But if you present yourself to be a certain type of way,
there's a cost, especially a reality show.
Oh yeah, you
could be authentic, but there may be a cost.
Yeah. What's the cost?
I'm feeling I don't like you. I don't like the person that I did not know.
But I think sometimes you find your audience by the people who don't like you.
But I liked you before I saw your personality. I loved your songs. You still could blow. You could sing.
Yeah.
Tasha Page Lockhart was, oh my gosh, on the last show, she was killing it. Singing at her. She had a birthday and she wanted a worship thing. Oh my gosh. But she always could sing. But it's like, oh no, you messy. But whatever. I'll still listen to her music. But now I know about like why she sings some of the things she sings, because
she sings that messy
her
stuff.
life is a little jacked up. I just wish I didn't know.
You wish you could just enjoy the music without knowing the person who sings it.
I would like before. Before I saw.
But so why do you still watch it? Why do you watch it?
What?
The Grown and Gospel.
Because it's entertaining now.
And she be watching them, all the reality shows. All the reality shows. You do watch all the reality shows. You do.
I like watching Married at First Sight. I love that one. He hates that.
Don't watch.
I watched 90 Day Fiance.
Don't watch that.
Yeah, those are the ones I watch.
You watch the Alabama show Love in Huntsville.
Oh yeah.
You watch
Atlanta.
Married at First Sight. Did you say that already?
I said Married at First Sight. I do watch
Put a Ring on It. You watch that.
Oh, and Ready for Love with Tommy.
All the
It's
like
all
I said,
couple stuff.
all the reality
That's not
stuff.
all. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop and all that real.
You do watch Love and Hip Hop.
No,
You
I
told me
don't.
about Love and Hip Hop.
No, I don't watch. A long time ago, I saw like when Cardi B used to be on there, whatever. But I don't watch it. I mean, it's been on for years.
So you watched Love and Hip Hop?
No, I ran across it a few times, but it was too much because it was too much. But yeah, those are like just too much. I don't even. That's why I told you I saw that boy Scrappy.
Yeah, your little Scrap.
And that other man with the he be talking real slow. Remember I told you he finally broke up with that girl that was on the show with these other people?
Joe
they were
Budden?
together for, Joe, him. He was crazy. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know these people, but that was a long time ago. But I don't watch those because they're too much.
Well,
I like the one with couples, basically.
I don't watch any of them.
I know.
I can't. I cannot do it. Me no likey. Anyway, let us know what you think about the good side, the bad side, the cost of reality media. Do y'all do podcasts? Do you like feel? Or let me ask you, like on social media, do you all feel like I need to present myself to be a certain type of way on social media, or do you feel like, oh, I can just keep it real and keep it 100 and let everybody know how I feel about whatever? And if somebody wants to cancel me, then cancel me. I'm fine.
When you say social media, you mean like podcasts, anything?
No, I'm talking about like people if they don't have podcasts or something like that. If they just have like social media, maybe an account like Instagram or Facebook or YouTube account.
Oh.
Do they like post the perfect pictures on there, or do they like try to keep it real?
I think a lot of people do that. Post like what they want you to see.
Yeah.
Because remember I was asking my niece like she was posting pictures and she said I did not realize that they take about 50,000 to get that one. She's like, you see this girl right here? She didn't just take one picture. She took about 100 pictures and then she finally got one that looked good.
Yeah.
There's no way. I mean, that's just too much. But a lot of people do that. If you know, I don't got to. I don't post nothing.
No, you don't.
I'm a stalker. I just follow and look at people, but I don't post anything. I just be stalking behind the scenes.
So y'all let us know what it is that what your opinion is about the impact and the cost of reality TV. Is there fame in being famous? Is there what did I say? Is there honor in being in honesty or authenticity, or is there fame in faking it? Y'all let us know in the Z comments. The last thing we want to talk about is really like a notification. So we used to do this thing. A fun game that I created called Scenario. We played it at a couple of events that we had at our house back in the day.
At our old house.
At our old house back in the day. And it was something that we did. It's called Scenario, where we would create a scenario and I would tell one part. It was like a couple situation, or necessarily wasn't a couple. It didn't have to be a couple situation.
Not always.
Right. But it was be a male and female. I would tell the male something, and let's say the male was going to be the one doing the scenario. I would tell the male something. I wouldn't tell the female, and I wouldn't tell the group. And I would walk in, and I would say, okay, this is the setup for the male. And then he would have to act out what it is the setup was with the person, the female's female counterpart, and she didn't know what was going to happen. So the scenario could be anything. One time I did one where it was, well, let me show you what example of it, and so you can see what I'm talking about.
Oh, look at our old house.
Let me play it back a little bit.
What do you mean?
This is Rachel. She's at a bar on Thursday before she goes home.
Waiting for her friend.
Waiting for her friend.
Which friend? Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. My name's Chris. How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Rachel.
Rachel. All right. Nice to meet you. So what are you drinking on?
I'm sorry.
I can't hear.
I'm sorry.
What are you drinking on?
Just a Malibu Bakery.
What?
Malibu Bakery.
Okay. All right. Cool. I can order one real quick. Where are you from?
From the area.
From the area? Okay. All right. Cool. Talking about Maryland or Bowie or? Okay. All right. Cool. Well, thought you were attractive. Want to come over here and talk with you a little bit. Is it possible I could get maybe Instagram number where we can stay in
I'm okay.
contact?
Thank you.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be honest.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, that was rejection. So what happens next?
Okay, good. All right, now, so.
Normally, I wouldn't even give him I would give him a fake name probably. That's why I should have said Ashley.
That's
She said she would give a
Oh,
fake
my
name.
God. That's why I said Ashley.
So we talked about shooting your shot, right? So you felt like you didn't even get a chance to shoot your shot. You just getting introductions and stuff. Why did you shut him down so quickly?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, because I don't know. I think that I just
That's
got
exactly
like I'm just at a point now where and it's like not that I don't want to get to know people or I don't whatever, but it's just like I don't know. I'm like
She's just awkward.
it's not even being awkward. It's just not even wanting to give like somebody the time of day. I guess.
Okay, so you just don't want to.
Which is
Give
weird.
anybody
Because
time
I
of day.
don't want to like eventually like be in a relationship or like I said, get to know people. I don't know. I just naturally do that.
You just
I
not
don't
you.
know. It might be because like.
Are you introverted?
No.
You're not.
No, but I was in. I think because I know why. I was in a very long relationship, and so I got
We knew that. So, but Chris, so how did you feel when you was just getting like the stiff arm, just like the straight, stonewall?
I was like, oh, well, she obviously isn't attracted or isn't interested.
Okay. Did that affect your? I mean, of course, this is make believe, but would that have in a normal situation affected your kind of like ability to like think about who you are about yourself? I think you kind of answered that already.
Yeah,
But
I mean, it would change how I feel about myself, but I would want to know. I'm the kind of person that likes to know information, so I want to know why. I'd be like, well, why does she do that?
Yeah.
That's what I would always want to know. So it would cause me to either try to ask more questions as a friend and try to become a friend, or just be like, all right, let me just.
I had a guy argue with me once.
So the rest, you really can't hear what she says after that.
Yeah, she talks really low. I could hear him, but
Yeah.
I remember those scenarios.
That used
to be fun.
Yeah, the scenarios was a great game.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun with that when we had a big event over our house one time.
When a
And-
lot of like youth ministry or
Yeah, it was,
millennials. Yeah, there wasn't a youth ministry, but they were millennials.
Yeah, I think it was like right before we started doing Millennial Dating Chronicles.
Yeah.
Right before that, but we played this game with a group full of people, and we set up scenarios where there was 4 women. They went out together, and then we had one dude that wants to shoot a shot with one woman in the group of 4. How you gonna go do it? And we didn't tell the audience anything. So it was about maybe 40 people over the house.
Yeah.
And so it was like everybody was sitting on the floor, everybody was sitting around, and then I would take the men out and I would, tell him what he had to do. And I'd get 3 women from the audience. I say, you all are friends, you all are out on the girls' night. Sit down on these chairs, boom, go. And then the guy would have to walk in and then do his thing and so forth. So we had a ball in doing that.
Yeah.
One time I did it over Nadine's house, and the 2 people that I got to do it, they both are actors. I didn't know they were actors.
Oh.
I think one is an actor and one knows how to was like in plays and stuff. Man, when I tell you they acted, the scenario was he had to come home and tell his wife that he lost his job again.
Again.
No, he lost his job. But when they started getting into the action of it, it was like she was like, "You lost your job again?" He was like, yeah, I'm sorry, baby." And so she added it again.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Man, I messed up." And he said, "I feel so bad." And she jumped. And it was like, "Oh, wait a minute. Are you putting in a domestic abuse kind of dynamic in it?" And instantly he was like, and she's like, and like got terrified. And it was like, everybody was like, "What is going on?" This is like made up on the spot. And it was so good. I mean, and she literally teared up.
What?
When she was talking
Was
about.
she acting or she was really scared?
I don't know.
Oh my God.
I mean, she wasn't scared because they were acting out a scenario, but I don't know if she was reflecting on. She teared up, like, you know, the point where she had to wipe her eye, and it was like a little tear puddling up. Man, that thing was so. Afterwards, I was like, "And cut," and everybody was like, "Yeah." We were like, "Oh my gosh, that was so good."
Yeah, I probably had a good discussion after that.
Oh my goodness, that's
why we a lot of times we did scenarios because it brings about a lot of discussion and a good debrief.
Yeah. So with this scenario was we were doing Millennial Dating Chronicles, and you see in the background.
You said something about shoot your shot.
Yeah, we see in the background. We had done a Millennial Dating Chronicles where we did interviews with somebody, and we were talking about shooting your shot, and we were talking about how does shooting your shot affect a man's ability to have confidence in himself in the future. And people were having very interesting comments and stuff. So somebody brought up, like, if I'm out. I think Chris did. Like, if I'm out on a date and, I'm talking to a girl and, it's easy for me.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Push my glasses up. That's not how it was before, but whatever.
Okay. Anyway. But he was talking about how he would shoot his shot and stuff. And he actually was there with his girlfriend. He was there.
Yeah, the guy with the hair.
Yeah, he was there with his girlfriend.
I didn't know his girlfriend was there that time.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
They were sitting there. After that situation. She sat very close to him after that.
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I saw all the situation. Remember when I went to New York with one of the guys that came?
Oh yeah.
I went with him and I went with her.
Oh.
And he was shooting his shot in the car.
I remember you told me about it. Yes.
And by this event, they were dating.
Oh, wow.
They're not dating no more, though.
And never mind. I was going to say what happened
oh, yeah.
to her later.
A year after this video, she was pregnant.
Not by him.
No, not by him.
Yeah.
By somebody else. And I don't know if she's in a relationship or not, but, she had a baby. Baby's cute, too. But with Chris, he was he was with his girlfriend, and so he was talking about how he goes to a restaurant, what he would do. So I was like, okay, scenario, boom, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play it out. And I just created a scenario and had them sit down and discuss it. So that's what we did there. And that's what we want to do with us. And so instead of me and Bernie coming up with the scenarios,
right.
We want you all to come up with the scenarios, or you come up with an idea that you think that a situation, a marital situation that you think that you want us to play out. It can be about relationships. It can be about finances. It can be about, an argument that you had with your spouse that you wish you would have done something different, or you want to know how we would do it, or you just want to see how we would do it. Yes, anything like that. I think it'd be fun. If you want me to, because Bernie can't know about it. If I'm the one presenting the scenario. She has to be it has to be very organic for her. And so if you want me to play out a scenario, then send to my DMs what it is that you want me to do. But if you want Bernie to play out the scenario, and don't let them all just be me. I want to play too. If you want Bernie to play out the scenario, then send it to Bernie's DMs. I'll put the links to our Facebook and Instagram pages, whichever profile platform you like. I'll put those links into the description and at the chat at the bottom. So if you want to see that stuff played out, I think it'd be very interesting. It's another way. It's a different way how kind of we talked about wanting to create games and create fun activities. This is a different way for us to do it. I definitely think it'll be entertaining for you all to see. And you all get a window to see how we be having our conversations and how we make 25 years be 25 years. So yeah, hit us up and let us know what it is that you would want us to talk about, or some things you want us to share.
Or what scenarios you want us to do.
Oh my gosh, I didn't turn this over. This whole time I've been talking to this.
What do you mean?
Anyway.
With that.
Yeah, I have to. That's why I have the backup video.
Oh.
So anything else, babe?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. So like we always say, do all the social media things, follows, clicks, likes, subscribe, shares, all the things. Appreciate y'all's comments that you all provide to us when you watch our videos and stuff.
Yeah.
And if you are seeing any one of these clips on social media, then please go back to the YouTube page of Heath Wiggins and watch the entire episode if you're interested. When you have time, watch the whole entire episode because that allows you to see kind of the full breadth of the content.
Yeah. All the full story.
Right. Okay. We will see you all next time.
Bye.